Good morning, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Wednesday morning, December 11th. We're looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF the last 3 days on Window Trader. And a bunch of things to talk about this morning. Today is the Fed day, 2 p.m. Right now, we're looking in balance, in value. So, number one, the odds are you probably trade in some type of balance day prior to 2 p.m. However, there have certainly been times where there have been trend days prior to 2 p.m. on the Fed day. So you can definitely trade those, but I have not, to my knowledge, seen a trend day that has held prior to 2 p.m. Now, after 2 p.m. or 2:30, we've had trend days on the Fed, but any trend day that we had prior to 2 p.m. has always been taken back prior to the Fed's announcement. Keep those things in mind. Another thing, how the algorithm is going to be set this morning. Are the algorithms going to want to be taken out, possibly a weekly high, monthly high, all-time high, before the Fed decision? I'm going to think not. So that has to figure into your trading as we go forward. Will they want to fill this gap? That's a possibility. I'll tell you right now, we've gotten into this gap twice. If you are to take out yesterday's low, I would think the odds are very good that you would finally fill the remainder of that large gap. Another thing, especially for newer traders and whatnot, there is no reason you can trade up to 2 o'clock if you want. There is no reason to have a position at 2 p.m. More importantly, there's no reason to have a position at 2:30 p.m. when he starts his press conference. 2 p.m., I think it's a 100% chance that there is going to be no rate cut, right? They're not going to take any action. So there might not be that big a reaction at that point. And at 2:30 when he speaks, if it's basically the same lingo, we're going to monitor this and that, you still might not get a big reaction. However, your bigger reaction is going to be in the press conference, I would believe. And if he comes out with anything saying because the economy is so strong, further rate cuts are on hold indefinitely, or gasp, God forbid, if it's that strong, we'll have to raise rates again, that's when you're going to get movement in this market. So there is no reason to have a position, I believe, at 2:30. You'll have enough time afterwards, once the market decides which way it wants to go, after everything's digested, to get on board. Okay? That's my 2 cents on that. As far as destinations, real quick, because you should have them all. 313.98, 11 wide would be your first upside destination. Now, if we open above there, we're slightly above it now, and there's still an hour to go before the opening. But if we're open above it, well, then that obviously does not get taken off your sheet. That would be a downside destination. I would think there's very, very good odds we trade there this morning. Then we have the afternoon rally high where I'm trading right now at 314.17. Yesterday's high 314.55. Daily high of 315.18. Weekly high of 315.31. Downside, yesterday's low is our first destination unless we open above the 11 wide, which is 312.81, and then filling that gap finally 312.25 from December 6th, and then you should have at least a bunch of destinations I've given you down to that other gap that gets filled at 309.64 from December 4th. So what's the game plan for this morning? Well, right here, in balance, in value, absolutely no trade for me. If we are to trade, and I still don't think I would not take a put play, even at the afternoon rally high. Let a period form if we're right around this balance. If we're to trade up and not be able to take out yesterday's high, or take it out and get accepted right back in, and we haven't traded at the park yet from yesterday, then I would take a short position because odds are you're going to at least come back down and trade at park. That's where I'd take a short position. I think the odds, like I said earlier, the odds of them wanting to get all giddy, these algos, and take out a bunch of daily highs, a weekly high, and possibly a monthly high, and get to an all-time high before 2 p.m. is slim. Could happen, but I think the odds are against it. So that's why, unless we would have a trend day going up, and that's a possibility, then my thought process will change. But if we make new highs, but each time come right back into balance. And then I look to fade them early. As far as a call play, if it open somewhere around here, drive down and hold yesterday's low, I would possibly think, or hold B's low, get involved on a long side small. But I would really think if we do take out yesterday's low, they're going to want at least, it's a magnet, at some point going to fill it. Then you see what would happen after they filled it. Prior to 2 p.m., I don't think you should, again, you could have a trend day. I've seen them, and then they usually get taken back. But I would know my out at least if I got long between B and A period. Those would be the two early trades I would look for this morning as far as a short or a long. Chart-wise, you just look at the weekly and daily, right? We've gotten to the top of a weekly balance, a 4-week balance, 2 times, and then this week we got to it again. Now, that's why I'm saying the odds of them wanting to take all 3 of these highs out prior to 2 p.m. is slim. Now, after 2 p.m., 2:30, everything's off the table. If they like what you hear, you might blow right through this and make new highs and get out of the balance. If they don't like what they hear, well, then the top of the balance for now is secure. It's a triple top, and you might start ripping down where eventually you get down to the bottom of last week's low. I'm not saying today, but I would certainly look for that at some point if we were to sell off today. Good luck trading today. Be smart. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.